Hi everyone, it's Jenny here coming to you with an update on my diet journey. I've done 2 rounds of HCG and taking some time off in between because you're supposed to. I don't think I even took enough time between round 1 and round 2 that I should have, so I'm trying to be better about taking time, partly because I'm losing hair. I'm losing hair, and it's still happening in the drain of the shower. So I'm taking my pills, and I just really wish I was really diligent and proactive about taking them during my rounds. I think it would have been better, but you can tell it's not terrible. It still looks okay. Like I've gotten to the point where it's gotten really thin and anemic. So I really would love if I could just see the hair stopping coming out completely before I start another round. I don't know if that's going to be possible because I have a certain amount of weight that I have to lose by a certain time because of a challenge that I'm in, that I would lose a lot of money if I don't hit that weight. So I might have to jump back into P2 again in about 2 weeks time to do it again. So we'll see. I'm in P3 right now, and quite frankly, I've been doing pretty darn good in P3. I got to the point in P3 at one point that I actually had lost another almost 4 pounds, like 3.5 pounds. I don't remember exactly the number. It's like 3.7 or something like that pounds. But then it kind of came back again. And there were kind of little cheats in there, but I've all in all been pretty good. I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. Um, so I believe the last video I did was on day 47 of P3. And on day 47 of P3, I had just gained zero point 0.4 pounds. The day before, I lost 0.4 pounds. I was kind of doing this yo-yo thing. Remember, I said I had gained the weight back. That was the day that I actually was at 0 in terms of how much weight did you gain or how much weight did you lose. In P3, I was exactly at the same number that I was when I ended round 2. But this was 47 days later. So that is just, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for me. It really is. That's not something that is normal for me at all. My weight takes off. And I've been doing keto. So, as I read in many places, you need to do keto really and intermittent fasting and calorie restriction really to truly lose weight. But I haven't really been doing intermittent fasting. Sort of, but not really. Like I eat at noon, from like noon to 8 is my eating window, which is a pretty big eating window. Usually when I do intermittent fasting, it's down to like a 4-hour eating window, and I try to even keep it as smaller than that if I can. Sometimes often just do one meal a day, or OMAD diet. All right, so since then, here's how the scale went. Okay, so at that day I had gained zero point 0.4. I was at 0. The next day I lost zero point 0.4 again. The day after that I lost zero point 0.1. And then I gained zero point 0.1. And then I lost nothing. So I am really staying pretty stable. And I am eating. I am eating. So do I feel like I'm on a diet? Yeah, because I just love carbs so much. I love pizza. I love bread. Um, and so I've been working it and trying to do my best during this time. I did have yesterday a hamburger on a keto bun. Um, what else did I have? I had a plate of this, like Jenny's chicken. It's chicken that's made with different cheeses and mayo and spices. So it's very P3 friendly, very keto friendly. So I had a plate of that yesterday as well, on top of a large hamburger with mushrooms and mayo and a little avocado, not much. My avocados were going bad, so I only had a little bit left in them. Unfortunately, my bad. I have to throw three avocados away. The day before that, I had a bowl of buffalo chicken dip with celery sticks to eat it, and some green peppers. I had that what we call Jenny's chicken, the chicken casserole. I had a plate of that. I had 6 slices of salami, and then here's a downfall. I had 4 slices of keto bread with butter on them, and then Splenda mixed with cinnamon sprinkled on top. So cinnamon bread, cinnamon toast, essentially I made. Um, four um, 4 slices of that, and so that was significant. Um, all right, and then yesterday I had that hamburger, I had that plate of chicken, and I also had a double dose. So it's like a muffin in a cup that you make, and I had a large bowl and I doubled the recipe, so it was twice as much because I just really wanted something sweet. I had no more keto ice cream. I finished that up the other day. I forgot to write that down. That was 2 days ago as well. Keto ice cream. Forgot about that. That was yesterday as well. Um, and I had no more Cool Whip left, which is good because really I can't control my portion size. It's easier with the ice cream because it's so hard that it takes a while to eat it, and then after a while I'm like, okay, my mouth is cold. And they come in small pints, so it's supposed to be three. I mean, I ate about half of it each time. I think there's supposed to be 3 servings in it, and I made it into 2, but that's okay. It wasn't that many. Wasn't that many carbs. Yesterday I wanted something again, so I looked up online a recipe and I found one with to make like almond. They called them muffins. It's kind of tasted like a cake. It wasn't terribly sweet. I would add a more sweetener, I think, if I did it again. I probably will do it again. But it really did hit the spot, and it made me happy to eat it. So yeah, so it was 2 eggs. I think a half a cup of almond flour, um, some baking soda. No, it was baking powder, not baking soda. What was all in this recipe? Cinnamon, like a teaspoon of cinnamon. I did add also, because I thought, oh, I really love the flavor of almond, so I was looking for almond extract and I couldn't find it. I don't know if we're out of it or if I just ran out of time looking. I did have some vanilla extract, but I did also have these drops of liquid, it's like a stevia that's a vanilla flavor. And they're pretty concentrated. So I put about 10 drops of that inside of it, but it still didn't make it sweet enough. I would at least double that and maybe add a little bit more of the sugar. Oh, and then artificial sweetener. Um, I use Swerve, which is supposed to be a really good one to use, and the closest to natural sugars, and tasting is much like a natural sugar, but it's not, and it's 0 calories. So I use Swerve as my sugar substitute. It was good. It was good, I would say. I mean, it's better than some of those keto bars that I had, which kind of tasted chalky. This tasted like a cake. It just wasn't as sweet as, you could tell it wasn't a regular cake. Other people would taste it and go, needs icing or something. It would have been really good. I could have put some Cool Whip on top of it, but I had no Cool Whip and I didn't have any Ready Whip. There was 1 can left in the refrigerator and I went to shake it and put it out, and nothing came out. It was the end of the can, so I had to throw that away. All right, so that's what I ate. So you can tell some of these days, just a lot. Just a lot that I ate. When I talk about a plate of this thing, I'm talking about a plate about this size, like 2 pieces of chicken with this mayo cheese sauce cooked on top of it. So, and then I take handfuls of romaine lettuce shredded on top of it. So every bite I get some vegetables as well as the chicken, and a lot of the topping. I made extra topping so it was extra thick because I'm supposed to have more fats. It's easy to eat proteins. It's hard. I mean, you're not supposed to have too many proteins. You're really supposed to focus on fats when you're on keto. Difficult thing to do. All right, so today I wanted to talk about scales. I had this Weight Watcher scale. I actually brought them here. This is a Weight Watcher scale. That is my scale that I've had for years in my bathroom. Always liked it, always loved it. And then, I kind of, just by putting it down, it turned on. So you can see it. What I like about it also is that it lights up. So it has that blue color background so that you don't have to turn the light on to see it. And I always thought it was very accurate. And then when I was doing P2, my numbers would vary so much from one day to the next. And I just thought, this isn't normal. I don't think my scale is that accurate anymore. So I looked online and tried to find another one that was similar. You can tell I like glass with silver because it matches my bathroom. So I got this one from Taylor because it had excellent reviews. It's also a touch. Let me press it down and get it to. Oh no, this one is different. That's right. The other one was like a touch start. This one you just step right on, and then right away it registers the weight, but it doesn't light up. But I thought, I mean, okay, I can turn on a light if I can't see it. And I wanted something that was going to be more accurate. So I started really keeping track of my weight. And I will tell you that ever since I had this, that almost every day the scale is within zero point 0.2 pounds of each other. Usually this one, the Weight Watcher one, is 0.2, says I'm 0.2 pounds heavier than what the Taylor one says. So if you want your friend, I would get a Taylor one. But almost every day it has gotten to be like the very first day it was off, but then I realized, and I was more conscious about the Weight Watcher one too as well, but I realized with the Taylor one that you really have to stand, you can't even put your head down to look. It affects the weight on the scale. I have to be standing completely upright on it in the center of it and then slowly look down at the number. And it doesn't lock in as much as the Weight Watcher one does. But that being said, since I was doing that on that one scale, I wanted to make sure I was doing it on the other one. And I found out my weight still is very variable, which is shocking that according to the most recent numbers that I've kept track of, I was -0, plus 0.1, -0.1, -0.4, plus 0.4, -0.0, and then we go up into, this is more usual, plus 1.4, plus 0.2, -1.2, plus 0.9, -1.3, -0.7, -0.6, -2.7, plus 2.3, plus 1.8, like that kind of crazy variableness, which was right around in the 30s, day 35, 36, 37, 38. And it was partly an effect of what I was eating that day that was affecting it. It just goes to show you I do have a lot of, it's not just the food that I'm eating, but I do retain a lot of water. And then I don't retain the water when I don't have the carbs. So salts and carbs really affect the scale for me. So I have a lot of variability. And because both these scales would say, like where the one said -2.7, the other scale said -3.0. Where one said -0.6, the other one said -0.7. One said plus 0.9, the other one said plus 1.2. -1.2, -1.2. That day they both said the same thing. Plus 2, plus 1.4. That was the biggest discrepancy. I remember that day going, oh, this is like 0.6 off. It's a little bit, just a little over a half a pound difference. But then the next day, plus 1.4, plus 1.5. I mean, they just basically have all been, in the last 5 days they've been within 0.2 of each other, which is basically where they tend to fall, and the one tends to be 0.2 more than the other. So they're accurate. They're both accurate. Did my head lean over the scale a little bit more? Maybe when I looked down on one and it affected those numbers slightly. That could be. So there you go. Now I have two scales. So I have decided the Taylor one I'm giving to my daughter, who is next week going down to Ohio State to start vet school, so she can have a scale in her bathroom if she wants one, because I don't have a need for two of them, and my other daughter lives in California and she has one that tests her everything. They give all those readings on you and you can sync it with your watch and all that fancy stuff. So I'm going to give it to my other daughter because good old Weight Watcher, who I've had for about 4 years, I found out is still accurate. So if I had to pick between the two, I would pick this one. One, I don't know. I like the look of the square more than I like the look of the other one. mostly because I like how it lights up. I really do. The bonus of the Taylor one is like with the Weight Watcher one, it doesn't register. I have to like take my foot under the lip of it, pick it up and let it drop down. So every morning I have to go boom to get it to turn on. And then I get on the scale. The advantage of the Taylor one, you just step on it. There's no turning it on to activating it. It's just a step on. So there you go. They were both about the same price. I remember the Weight Watcher one I think I got, I don't know if it was on sale or not. It may have been. I think it was actually. I think I got it on sale for like $28 at Costco. And the Taylor one, I should know because I got it not that long ago, but I want to say that it was around the same price too. Yeah, it was probably right around $30 and probably a little bit under. So they both cost the same too. Now I know they both weigh me the same. You decide for you which one you like if you want a recommendation for which scale to get. They both have pluses and minuses. At least we know we're accurate, and now when I go, I think something's wrong with my scale. Why is my weight like this high up and then this far down and then this high up and this high down? It is just me. It is just my body. All right, that's all I have for today. You take care, and I will talk to you hopefully very soon. I'll try to get better. Sorry. Bye.